Today we're going to join bias. We're going to join these two pieces together. Now I cut this in half because I want to show you how to get a true bias line. That's the first thing we have to start with. True bias is a 45-degree angle. So if I take my ruler's a 2-inch ruler, 2-inch wide. So I'm going to line it up on the 4 and the 6. So this edge is going to be on the 4 and the 6. So that means this line right here is 45-degree angle. So I'm going to draw on that line. Okay, now I'm going to put the two together, and then I can cut them both at the same time. Be very careful that you stack that nice and neat, and then just cut the two pieces. So you have that nice 45-degree shape. All right, so now we're going to place the two pieces together, and what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is the seam allowance is going to be 1/4. So I'm going to draw just on one a 1/4 seam allowance. So I'm going to draw a 1/4 sew line. So 2 blocks here is 1/4, so I'm going to just draw right there. All right. Now, when I put these together, I'm putting it together so it looks like an L. Do you see? Like this. So it's like a square. All right. Now, the seam that we're going to be, the sew line is the pencil line. So I want to place this fabric so that this pencil line is right in this intersection. So that's very important. Okay? And that this sew line is right inside this intersection, right here. Okay? If it's not, technically what we like to do is we like to put the seams together. So we put the seams together here, then we sew our 1/4 seam. Then what happens is when we fold this back over, you have this like stair-step mess. That's not going to be good for joining bias. So this is why we have to line it up at the sew line. So again, I'm lining it up so that this sew line is right inside this intersection, and this sew line is in this intersection right here. Okay, so I'm going to put this under the machine, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 seam. All right, so I'm going to start right where this intersection is, right there. And I'm going to start sewing. You don't have to back tack. And then I finish. Okay, so when I'm done, when I open this up, you'll see that it is a nice straight line. So it's a nice straight piece. Now the reason that we would join bias is you might have a garment that you've made with spaghetti ties or some type of a binding around the body of the garment, and the bias is not long enough. So you need to join bias so you have a really long piece so that when you're sewing your binding or your spaghetti or anything for belts or ties, you're going to be able to have one continuous long strip. So this is why we join bias. When you're finished, you're going to press the seam open, just like this, clip your threads, and you'll put it in your sewing notebook like this.